All right, guys, so today what we're gonna be doing is we are going to be continuing on with the Miss Marvel, but before I do that, I do want to let you guys know about next week. So as we read the announcements, you are gonna be doing the STAR test next week on Thursday. So I'm gonna be prepping you guys Monday through Wednesday for it, okay? So that you guys can do good. I think you guys are gonna do a good job. It's the English 2-star. Okay, yeah, the English 2-star is the only one that you guys should be taking. If you have to take the algebra or biology or history, those will be in April, okay? Yes, last year was excused. So there's only, I think, one student in here that has to take more than the English one right now. I mean, the English 2. I will be letting you guys know what room numbers you're in. Tomorrow is a virtual day. So make sure that you are logging into Schoology and doing the discussion board attendance. Even if you're an in-person student, you need to do it. And then tomorrow you're gonna be watching volume 4 and then taking a mini quiz. Please watch the video first. Most of the videos are less than 15 minutes and then take the test so that you get a good grade. And make sure that you're getting in the work that I've assigned over the last couple of weeks. All right, sound like a plan? All right, again, I will be letting you know your room numbers as the time comes, and I'll be giving you more information about the English 2-star. So, again, as I said today, we're going to strengthen our inferencing and comprehension skills by watching Miss Marvel, not necessarily reading it. And we're going to discuss certain literary aspects of it. Okay, there is no assignment today other than the discussion. And I'm going to give you guys a chance to get the free 100, or I call it free, by finding out some information like you did for Spider-Man. Okay, so before we start, what do we know about Miss Marvel?
Miss Marvel is
She's stretchy. Okay, so that's one of her powers, right?
so
She can stretch. What's her name?
Kamala.
Kamala what? Kamala Khan. Where's her family from?
Pakistan.
Pakistan, yes, Pakistan. What religion is she?
Muslim.
Islam.
Yeah, Islam. It's an Islamic religion, and she's Muslim. I stopped that. That's for her?
Yeah, you put it wrong.
You put an A, it's a
That's an I, right? Okay, yeah. My brain's not working. Muslim?
Yes.
All right. All right. And we know now that she has powers, right? What other powers does she have?
She can shrink and enlarge.
Shrink and so change.
She's kind of like the girl version of Ant-Man, but then
No, she's like Luffy.
Okay, kind of like Ant-Man, yeah.
yeah. No.
Luffy the monkey.
Oh.
Off of it.
Okay, what else can she do?
Change from custom mode.
Yeah, so she shapeshifts.
Would that really be considered safe shipping?
Yeah, you're gonna find out today. All right, is she normally a good kid?
No, yes.
Yeah, she's a good kid, but right now she's in trouble with her parents, right? Why is she in trouble with her parents?
Because she went partying.
And they think she's been drinking.
In trouble, for sneaking out, being the boys, okay? Who told on her?
Her brother,
Bruno. Bruno is who?
The best friend who's in love.
Yeah. The best friend that's in love with her, yeah.
I can't walk in.
Yes. All right, so it's best friend that's in love with her. Okay. So when we left off yesterday, she was thinking about her powers, right? Was she as freaked out by her powers as Miles Morales?
Not really.
At first, she was kind of like, well, this isn't real, but she seemed to kind of jump into the hero part of it a lot quicker than Miles Morales did. So let's see what she does with that in volume 3.
Well, wait, Miss, before you go on to that picture, so is she able to use her powers without transforming?
We're gonna find out before that.
Okay.
Well, actually, y'all will probably find that out by tomorrow.
Tomorrow?
Yes. Tomorrow. But listen closely and pick up on small details too. So.
Left his newspaper on the table. Risk takes Manhattan. Possible biological warfare?
Yeah, it looks good.
You better be funny. This made me a part of our balanced breakfast.
Gina Rose, natural goodness with just a little help from science.
Today in Salt Lake, Jersey City, tragedy was averted at a dockside party last night when a woman dressed as Ms. Marvel rescued a teen girl who had fallen into the river during a bizarre outbreak of ground fog that covered Manhattan, Newark, and Jersey City last night. Our crew is standing by at the home of Zoe Zimmer, whose life was saved by the costumed heroine. If Ms. Marvel hadn't been there, I would be totally dead by now. I feel like I've learned so much from her about being responsible and helping people and stuff. But questions remain. Has Carol Danvers returned to her old alias? Was this a copycat? Is a new costumed hero patrolling Jersey City's waterfront? The Avengers could not be reached.
I am so dead.
No, she says.
Okay, so first and foremost, is she excited that she's on the news?
No,
No, not at all. Now, did you listen to the commercial about the cereal,
what about it? GMOs?
the GMOs, which is what she's eating? Did
Yeah.
you hear what it said about it?
No, what is it?
It said that there's chemicals added. So we have the GMO cereal, chemicals. It also talked, she read an article about, or a headline about the fog. What was going on with the fog?
It made her turn into Miss Mom.
No, that's not what the headline said.
It was not
It was an
right.
alias.
They called it a mist, right? So the fog or the mist, but it was man-made. It was a biological weapon. Okay, so right now that's two things she's come into contact that have like chemicals or some sort. So maybe they have something to do with her powers. Okay, let's continue. I need you guys to actually pay attention, please, to what's going on.
Yes, ma'am.
Vic, I'm not freaked out when that mist was everywhere and you weren't answering your phone. That was like terrorists or something. Terrorists can't hurt me, bro. If I get in trouble, I'll just send that to Miss Marvel a text. That doesn't even make sense. You better call Mom. Later. She still talks about my area. Man, look at the JC Electronics store window. That Miss Marvel selfie is on every screen. Man, people are really losing hope. This mist thing. I saw the Army surplus store was hawking gas masks out front. Oh, sweet.
Everybody in Jersey City is talking about the new Ms. Marvel, yet I still don't know how or why this is happening. I spent the rest of Saturday morning before masjid hunched over my laptop, red scarf around my neck, saggy winged sloth plushie by my side.
Superpowers.
Powers.
Woke up as a polymorph. Come on, interwebs, don't fail me now. I can't be the first person this has happened to.
Mom, ready to go?
Yeah, she's trying to figure out how.
Ready for life. Amir is wearing his usual masjid ensemble, white topi on his head, salwar kameez below, but with a thrift store jacket over it.
Are you okay? I mean, aside from being in the worst trouble of your life with me and Abu.
I'm fine. Let's go. We're gonna be late for Sheikh Abdullah's Saturday youth lecture.
Yeah, I know how much you look forward to those.
The Islamic Masjid of Jersey City is a two-story brick building with a faux Greek facade of white stone and green oxidized copper. There's no dome like an Eastern mosque would have. That's because this was once a small meeting hall or Masonic lodge or something, repurposed for Muslim worship. It's definitely seen better days. The sign over the door is in English and Arabic.
So remember, dear young brothers and sisters, as the hadith of Rasulullah tells us, when an unmarried man and a woman are alone together, the third is shaitan.
Inside, the boys and girls are separated by a partition. On the women's side of the mosque, I'm sitting cross-legged and barefoot on a prayer rug with 6 other girls, one of whom is checking her text messages. I've got my scarf over my head now as a hijab, like all the other girls. We all have our headscarves on. Nakia sits next to me and seems to actually be paying attention.
Guard your
So, before we move on, so when she has the interaction with her brother, he said that she's always excited to go. Was he being serious?
Sarcastic.
No, sarcastic. And when we use sarcasm, that's what kind of irony? Verbal irony, beautiful, yes, okay. So she's also doing something very different from Miles Morales, right? Because Miles Morales, he gets his powers and he talks to his friend and his friend's the one that does all the research, right? But she's kind of taking it upon herself, but do you think that's gonna be easy for her to find out?
No,
No, right? Because is that your typical search? No.
I got.
Before we even hear the full sermon or any interactions while they're at the mosque, what can we already tell about it? What can we tell about it already? What can we tell about the mosque already?
The
It
mosque.
kind of
The
looked like a
mosque.
cult.
Not necessarily a cult, but do you see that it's being the women are divided from the men?
Yeah.
Okay, so, huh? Yeah, so it's actually pretty strict, right? It's a strict religion where, or at least this mosque teaches a strict version of it, where the girls have to be separated from the boys. Does that kind of shed some light as to why her parents were so mad about the party?
Yeah.
Yeah, because she was doing what? Interacting with boys by herself, right? So let's see, do we think that she's super religious or how do you think she's gonna react?
She's gonna act like she kind of knows it, but not all the details.
So the prediction is that do you think she's gonna be listening intently or,
She's gonna be mostly listening to show the one.
Yeah. so she might be distracted, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So let's find out if her predictions are right.
chastity, my young friend.
Wow, she's really on fire today. Yeah. Hey, Nakia, do you think it's possible for a person to just wake up different? Like all of a sudden the normal rules of physics don't apply? What? What are you talking about? Did you take drugs or something? What? No, it's just a metaphor.
Sisters, no talking during the lecture, please.
Sorry, Sheikh Abdullah, but it's really hard to concentrate when we can't even see you.
Sister Kamala, how glad I am that you've joined us today. The partition and the side entrance for women are there to preserve your modesty and dignity.
But didn't you tell us there was no partition at the Prophet's mosque in Medina? That men and women went through the same door and sat in the same room?
Yes, but those were blessed times, free from today's scandal and temptation. Look
Don't bother, Kamala. Come on, let's get out of here.
So now what do we know
I'm
about,
supposed to go straight home.
what do we know about her relationship with her religion?
She doesn't like it.
It's not necessarily that she opposes it altogether, but she's definitely a questioner, right? She wants to know, because she brings up that there's even the most holy sites, they don't have these rules, right? So she wants to know why must we be separated here and not in the most holy of sites? And what's his answer?
It's because back then it was less scandalous and less temptation.
Well, yeah, so he's saying that now there's just too much temptation. So what do women have to do?
Be separated so they can keep their.
Yeah,
dignity.
so separate, do they come in the same door?
No.
No, they come in a side
Seems
entrance,
like
right?
segregation.
So, yeah, very much reminds you of segregation, right? So they're very separate. And when he says, I'm so glad you could join us today, does he mean that?
No.
What is that?
Sarcasm.
Sarcasm, which is
Verbal irony.
verbal irony. Okay, so she has a very tense relationship when it comes to the traditional things in her life, right? Which is basically her parents and now her religion. Does her brother struggle as much?
No.
No. Do you think it might be easier for him?
Yes.
Yeah, right, because is he having to go sit behind a partition and come in a different door?
No.
All right,
With my brother, my parents are totally on the warpath. We'll just go to Circle Q for a radioactive raspberry squishy. We'll be back after the lecture is over. I mean, it's not like they're gonna notice we're gone. So what were you saying about physics or whatever? And where were you last night? I sent you like 5 texts and you never wrote back.
the answer to both of those questions is the same. That's deep. I'm serious. Something happened last night, and I still have no idea what to think about it. And I'm afraid I've gotten myself into for real rest of my life trouble. Either that or I'm about to have the most amazing life any girl from Jersey City ever had. Oh my God, you totally kissed a boy. Ew, what? No.
Hey guys, what's up?
Bruno, is he seriously gonna pretend nothing happened? He told my parents I snuck out to that party. Does he think he's my honorary curfew enforcer or something? You know what? I don't really want to squish you right now. I'll see you at school on Monday, Nakia. Okay.
So she starts trying to broach the subject with her best friend, or one of her best friends. Do you think that her best friend would have understood?
No,
No, because what does her best friend think is the life-altering, for good or bad, incident?
God,
No, kissing a boy,
no.
right? Because her friend is more religious than she is, right? And that's something pretty massive. So she takes kissing a boy to be the only thing that pretty much could change your life like that. To where Kamala is very much like, no, something else has happened. What do you think about her anger towards Bruno?
It's big. She doesn't like him at the moment right now.
Yeah, she doesn't like, is that justified?
Yeah.
Yeah,
My friend did that to me.
did he?
Oh,
Yeah.
sorry.
Do you think she'll make up with him all?
Yeah,
Yeah, my friend did.
Okay,
if she
So
doesn't,
based
that's
on-
just Eddie.
yeah, so based on your personal experience, she's going to make up with him. So we'll see if that prediction comes out. Okay.
Okay, she's totally ignoring me.
I wish Bruno would just get the message and leave me alone. Even if we are in the science lab. I'm doing some personal research on one of the lab computers, 3 tables away from where Bruno's younger brother Vic is leaning over the counter across from him. Bruno sits beside a chemistry set. There's translucent goo oozing out of a beaker, sitting over a Bunsen burner next to him.
I mean, she's completely turned around like I'm not even here.
Drag. Hey, I need $100.
Don't have it.
Dude, I know that. But you could get it from the cash register at Circle Q, no problem.
You want me to steal from my job?
You work there. It's not stealing.
Vic, if you want my brother, I'd knock some sense into that box of styrofoam you call a brain.
Yeah, we all know who got the brains in the family. So what is this stuff you're working on? Super snot?
It's a biokinetic polymer. If you put it on something flexible, like cloth or whatever, it makes it stretchier. A lot stretchier.
Like who?
I feel a weird tension in my skin again. It's like a full body migraine. I wish Bruno would just go away.
So first of all, so she's still mad, and this is like 2 days after, actually, probably 3 days after,
That's
right?
just been Eddie.
But what is he working on?
Something that helps stretch.
Yeah, so he's working on some like, we'll just call it glue. And that
Snot.
stretches. Now, she makes a comment about like, I wish you'd just leave me alone, even though this is a science lab. What is that? What can you infer from that statement?
That she can hear him talking about him.
Well, yeah, but do you think this is a subject that they like?
Yeah,
You don't think that they're scientific minded?
I think she is.
And then he's trying to create a substance that stretches. Is that something you normally do in high school?
No,
I mean, last time I checked, are y'all making substances that,
I'm
I
just-
made Kool-Aid today in chemistry.
there you go. See,
I'm
you have
really
to do it.
not vague.
All right, so we get kind of the indication that if she wasn't mad at him, who would be his lab partner?
Bruno, I mean, Kamala.
Kamala would be, right? Because he's definitely not wanting to be partners with his brother. Is his brother very smart?
No.
Now, what about his morals? Does he seem to have any or
No.
ethics? No, right? And he even makes a comment like, it's not stealing if you work there. That's not
just
quite
it.
true, right? That's still stealing. But this entire time, she's been trying to research her powers. So she's very analytical. But now that's 3 different things that she seems to have come into contact with, right? That maybe could help with her powers.
I wish my parents weren't so mad at me. I wish I could get something besides World of Battlecraft strategy guides when I Google polymorph. No, not here. I run to the door, hugging my enlarging hand to my chest. Just leave me alone. Thank God the hallway's empty. Shrink, shrink, shrink. Now my hand is tiny. Team coming down the hall. I sprint towards the girls' locker room. Come on, come on. Hey, my monkey's paw is normal sized. Thank you, weird hand. Thank you. I have got to get control of this thing. I mean, I know I can control it. I controlled it last night when I had to. I know I can shrink. So in theory, I can also do this. But hey, I'm giant girl. Okay, force equals mass times acceleration. So more mass equals. I wrap one hand around the wooden bench nearest me. More force. Righteous. And back down to Kamala size. Now, can I look like anybody? Or just Carol Danvers Redux? Like, for example, could I look like... I look in the wall mirror. Me? I was totally going for Taylor Swift. This is getting Freudian.
Okay,
So she can shift it.
so she can shape
That's
it,
weird. She's
Okay,
just like
but she was trying to turn into Taylor Swift, right? And we see her using her analytical brain, right? So she starts testing her powers, right? Which is very different from Miles Morales, right? He kind of was just letting it happen, happenstance, right? She's more scientific in her approach. Here's the for 800 for the entire class question. Does anybody know Freud?
Yeah,
Who's Freud?
because I know the name, but I forgot who he is.
Okay, so if anybody can tell me who Sigmund Freud is and what a Freudian slip is, the entire class gets 100.
No, don't look it up.
No, you can look it up. I
What?
want you to research. Let's
Why would
go.
you say that?
Because she let us do it the last time.
You said Sigmund Freud
Sigmund Freud.
was an Austrian neurologist and the founder of psychoanalysis.
So psychoanalysis, what does that indicate? Psychoanalysis. It's the analysis of
The brain.
the brain and your thoughts, right? He was very much into like your deep subconscious, those types of things, dreams.
The
So-
second one is unintentional error regarding and revealing subconscious things.
Okay, so yeah, so it's an unintended slip that you make that reveals your subconscious or what you really feel. So here's a perfect. No, so no. This is kind of it, and we all do it, right? So here's just an example. The other day, Coach Johnson's son, Amari was here, yes? Right, and we're having a conversation, and I said something about him being really good at football. And he says, I am really good at football. And he goes, I mean, I'm not really good at football, right? That's a Freudian slip, and we even said that's a Freudian slip. That showed that he really knows he's a good football player. He was just trying to be humble and say, no, I'm not, right? But his slip revealed what he truly thinks. How often have you done that? Have you thought, well, I don't want to say that. Here, I'm going to say this, and you say it anyways. It reveals your true intentions. So thinking about your subconscious, what does it mean that she turned into her mom?
She didn't mean to.
Well, she was trying to be Taylor Swift. She
Oh,
didn't-
but she sees like her mom. I think.
So what's on her brain?
Her mom.
Her mom, okay, her mom. And it seems like her powers are very much linked to her thinking, right?
Yes.
It started getting big, then it got smaller, and the more she thinks, right? So that's why she says this is getting Freudian, because even though she didn't think her mom was on her brain, that's what's on her brain, okay? So everybody gets 100?
Thank you.
Okay.
100. They want to each other.
Come on in there. Sounds like an earthquake is in the house. Fix it. Oh,
Health devastation.
what the heck? In here. I just found it like this.
Unlikely story. You know students aren't allowed in here outside of gym class. I think you've earned detention.
Detention. But my parents are already mad at me.
Out, back to class. I'll see you after school, 3 p.m. sharp. And I'm surprised at you, Kamala. You're usually so responsible.
Tell me about it. And then Ms. Marble looked me in the eye and said, Zoe, I know you're better than this. Like she could see into my soul.
Wow, that is totally intense.
Hi, Zoe. Oh my God, Paula, you will not believe what happened after you brought the party on Friday night.
Have you seen the news? Zoe is famous.
Yeah, I heard.
Okay, did Miss Marvel really tell Zoe all that?
So here I
That was Kamala.
No, right? So, and Kamala knows that, right?
Yeah.
So again, it indicates that they don't know who the real Miss Marvel is. But isn't that normally how it happens, that people start to like conflate or change what happened, right? So that's why they always talk about how eyewitness testimony is not as
Good as DNA.
yeah, as good as scientific facts, right? Because people remember things the way they want to. Because who's to say that Zoe really doesn't believe that, right? She said it so many times. She said it on the news. So she might actually believe that that's what happened.
am detention with all the other detainees. One kid has a black eye. The kid in front of me has a sign on his back that says, I cheated on Mr. DeLuca's math exam. Mock me. I ducked behind him, trying not to be noticed by the coach at the desk up front. Sorry, honey. No, I just lost track of time. No, I'm not becoming a degenerate.
No talking, Ms. Khan.
Sorry, coach. I'll be home soon, honey. Bye. It's a text message for Bruno. Can we talk? Working at Circle Q till 6 p.m. Please come. I guess there's no putting this off. I text him back. Okay. It's almost twilight already, since daylight savings is over. The air is golden and everything is softened as I ponder my way down through the mixed residential commercial neighborhood from Coles Academic. It's only a few blocks to the Circle Q. My carry bag slung over a shoulder, I pass row houses above small grocery stores, a locksmith, a dry cleaners. What does it mean to have powers? To be able to look like someone I'm not? What if I don't fit into my own life anymore? Like it's a pair of pants I just outgrown. Would I still be Kamala? I wish I could talk to somebody about all this. Tell somebody that I'm equal parts amazed and terrified. Bruno would understand. Or try to anyway. I wish I wasn't still so angry at him. I pause outside the Circle Q, steeling myself. I'm not sure who owes who an apology, but somebody's gonna come out of this really sorry. Okay, I'll just say, Bruno, I was really pissed at you all weekend, but I thought about it and there's a guy in a full face ski mask waving a gun around in front of Bruno. I flattened myself against the doorframe. Oh my God, somebody's trying to stick up the Circle Q. What do I do? What do I do? Stop, drop, and roll? No, that's fire. 911. Dead battery? Are you kidding me?
No.
Wait a minute. I have superpowers. I saved somebody's life last night. I am 911. But everybody's expecting Ms. Marvel. Ms. Marvel from the news, with the hair and the spandex and the Avengers swag. I'm a 16-year-old lounger with a 9 p.m. curfew. I peek around the door. Inside, the robber is gesturing wildly with his gun, but he doesn't care if it goes off or not. Through the glass, I can't hear what they're saying. Okay, too late for second thoughts. Don't worry, Bruno. Help is on the way.
You were supposed to be here, man. I thought Channy Bob had this shit. I switched with him. This is the dumbest thing you've ever done, dude. You're lucky I don't know cops. It's certainly right. Where did you get that thing anyway? You don't even know how to use a gun. You're right. It's not even loaded. Look, this is your fault, man. If you'd help me like I asked you to, it wouldn't come to this. But you just made me feel like crap, as always. When the inventor comes, things are gonna change. You'll have to start treating me with respect, inventor.
So what do we know?
The robber's brother.
Okay, so the brother is the robber. Does Kamala know that?
Yes,
No.
no.
No. So we know something she doesn't know.
Situational irony?
Mhm.
No,
It's-
dramatic.
No, that's dramatic irony.
What's
Situational
situational?
irony is, I wasn't expecting that, right?
Oh, okay.
So
Just-
dramatic irony is I know something you don't know. So Does this plan by the brothers seem well thought out?
Yeah.
No, right?
Oh,
Because he thought, who did he think was gonna be there?
Someone else.
the communicator.
The other one, he thought the other clerk was gonna be there, but had he just talked to his brother, he would have known. Like, hey, I'm not working today, right?
Yeah.
So it shows that he wants to stick up his, the other person, but what's up with the gun?
It's not even loaded.
It's not even loaded, right? So he's doing a robbery without a loaded weapon, right? And now he's standing there arguing with his brother. So what Kamala takes is he's just gesturing wildly, like he doesn't care who he hurts. In reality, it's because he thinks it's empty and he's arguing with his brother, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so how well do you think this is gonna go?
Bad. She's gonna beat up his brother.
He also mentioned somebody named the inventor.
It's
Right?
the evil duo.
That's, what do we call that when they're giving hints?
Foreshadowing.
Foreshadowing, yes. Good job.
What inventor?
Put the gun down and step away from the cashier.
I don't
You
think
wanna
someone
be
likes to
Mr.
do it.
Punk?
Strange things are afoot at the Circle Q.
Hey, what you call a hipster, lady?
Stop!
Ha, you missed me. Stop the wrestling business, lady.
That hurt. I wrapped my giant hand around the punk and lift him off the ground.
Wait, this is a mistake.
I'm sorry. You should be sorry. It's not nice to rob innocent, defenseless convenience stores. You're right. Really dumb. He's twisted really hard. Put you down if you promise to leave and never come back. This feels great. This feels right. I just stopped something terrible from happening. Stop struggling and put you down already. These powers mean something. Something scary but good. And for the first time, I feel big enough for this. Big enough to have greatness in me. Big enough to do anything. What?
But I'm not. Oh, no. No.
Oh, she got shot?
Yep.
Good.
What?
I see in a good story. No,
So-
Who got shot?
Miss Marvel got shot. Okay, so were y'all expecting that?
No.
Alright, so they were gonna continue.
So,
That's
Yes.
so what is that when you don't expect it?
situation.
Situational irony. Why was it surprising that she got shot?
Because he said the gun was loaded.
The gun wasn't loaded. So what might have been the reason that the gun goes off?
Because he was excusing himself by yesterday shot it.
Because it's one of the chambers.
There's one in the chamber. How often have you seen that where people
A lot of
accidentally get shot because they think the
They
gun's
forgot
not
to take
loaded
one
and
out.
there's one in the chamber?
I did.
So it's definitely something none of them were expecting. We weren't expecting. So make some predictions. What do you think's gonna happen? She's just been shot.
A superhero's gonna come.
Yeah.
Okay, so she might have recovery,
She has
healing
healing
powers.
factors.
Okay, she's also stretchy. Maybe things bounce off of her,
No,
right?
we
We
saw
don't
her
know.
bleeding though.
So she's
Did we see her
bleeding.
bleeding?
Yeah,
Yeah.
her hands was covered in blood.
Yeah,
I thought that was a blood.
No, that was the
no,
blood.
she was bleeding, right? And so
How do we know it hit her though?
Because she's holding her stomach and
it does,
bleeding.
she's kind of leaned
She's
over.
like Allie.
But maybe
Right.
it's the brother.
And we know that she feels pain, right? Because when he punches her,
Wait,
she says that hurts,
yeah,
right? So now she's been shot, everybody's freaking out. Because was Bruno's brother intending to hurt anybody?
no.
No, right? So I guess tomorrow you guys are gonna find out what happens to her.
Hopefully
I feel
she-
like it's the
Again,
brother.
Yeah, make sure that you actually watch the video again, at most they're about 15 minutes before you answer the questions for the mini quiz. Because the quiz is only 10 questions, okay? And then you need to make sure that you get the both reflections done, the Spidey mini quiz, and then you're gonna have the Marvelous mini quiz, okay?
What
All right,
about the thing?
huh?
What about the?
The reflection one is so much typing.
Oh my gosh, life is so hard.
150 words.
The big project is at the end of, that's after next week.
I
The
don't
thing,
agree with
where
it.
you read
That's the reflections, yeah. There's one reflection about representation, and the second reflection is about making your own superhero. Okay?
I was
I
done
saw that and I was
in my
like-
room. Till I got my-
Again, it's 150 minimum
Yeah. minimum.
per one, but Am I looking for grammar?
No, ma'am.
No, I'm looking for thought and
But I mean, like,
creativity.
I still gotta make sense.
I mean, it's common
You know,
sense that
yeah.
you correct grammar. So, I
Is it common sense?
mean, Yeah.
There's
When
some
you're
people,
typing-
some people type like they talk.
Like.
If I'm
I
looking
be
for
like
grammar,
you,
I'm looking for grammatically correct sentences.
Like. if
Do
I be
you
like
think that you guys speak in grammatically correct sentences?
Yes. But I mean, like, even if that's the case,
Instead of
it's still
spelling you,
equal
Y
out
O U,
to
actually
the
you.
same amount of words, so you might as well use correct grammar, because it's gonna equal out to the same amount of words.
Is it?
You have to use 150 words, so
No.
if you still speaking like you do every day, it's gonna equal, you really gonna have to type more, if you think about it.
Well, it depends.
Actually, if you
You
think
should
about it,
just
you're
join
right.
debate.
She is a debate.
Because think about it, if,
No. I'm not
so
talking
you
about
guys
that.
talk in a lot of contractions, but when you write grammatically correct, you do not use contractions, you use both words, right? So could not, does not, is not, but y'all normally use isn't, couldn't. So in reality, that's two words versus one. So maybe grammatically correct is the way to go.
No.
Okay, any questions?
No, ma'am.
All right, tomorrow, if you do have questions, just email me. I'm off, but I'll still have my phone, so I'll answer any questions you guys have.